A quick housekeeping note before we start. Yes, I know that today's topic has been out for like a month now. It just took me a good time to figure out what I wanted to say and make a concise video out of it. So this message is mainly for people who will instantly post in the comments below about how I'm late to the party and won't forgive me for the fact that I don't have the attention span of a fleeting sparrow. So yeah, I still thought the things I'm about to say were still valid to post, and here I am. That's about it. Let's roll it! I wasn't initially going to make a rant video about this because honestly, I'm going to rate the show for what it is when it eventually comes out, and I didn't want to be swayed by all the brouhaha now. However, some of the talking heads on YouTube who have reacted to this bring out a point that's so expectingly disappointing that I had to say something. So as to Anime Misfit Decree, I am here to talk about my thoughts on Crunchyroll's latest PR stunt, how that PR stunt is being treated horribly on their part, and why some of the fan outcry is a sign for the worse than better. So let's just jump right along because I have a cannoli order to make in an hour. Part numero uno. This is not a preview, Crunchyroll. Dear Crunchyroll, I feel like you got a preview for an upcoming show mixed up with a behind-the-scenes filler segment for an upcoming show. Because this is not how you market a series. I mean, what is this to you, EA's E3 conference? As someone who loves all forms of animation and honestly does not give a shit about what the show looks like as long as it's fun to watch, this is a good second chance to show us where you are spending all that subscription money at. And I still don't know what your show is going to be about or if I can even recommend it to others to check it out. All we really got was concept art and a very, very vague synopsis we've heard so many times before. So no elation. At this point in time, I do not think your upcoming show is unique, as you put it, because you didn't show me anything, damn it! I mean, what am I supposed to grasp here? Where's the sustenance? What's the world gonna be like in motion? How are the characters naturally interacting? In fact, where are you guys even in the production process? Because if you just started, then you're way too early to show us anything. And if you haven't just started this, then my god, you did not translate that well. There's a reason Japanese studios have a PV or multiple PVs for us to gauge when assessing what to watch. For this is an anime era where hundreds of shows are being put up on our faces, and the individual anime fan has only so little time to watch it all. Just because you stream the most anime legally, and just because you have a big old anime convention right after you, and just because you have all these talk shows that clearly I don't give two shits about, doesn't give you guys the diplomatic immunity to ransom out our time. Maybe this Elation Studios is new to the world of anime, and doesn't know the competing nature and consumative media habits of its core audience. But if that's the case, then this was the wrong studio to go with. I feel like a lot of your problems would have been solved if you just had a more concrete vision for us to see. Then again, let's go to that talking point most people expect me to rag on, the forceful messaging. Elation Studios, if that is your name. Look, I get that on a macro level you want to make the workplace better for women, but how you say it makes you sound very naive and hypocritical. First of all, as a female myself, I would be devastated if I heard that in the little corner of my ear that the only reason someone hired me was because they didn't want their company looking sexist or racist because I'm black. How does that help me, the employee, on my self-esteem, on my personal goals, if all you care about, or sound to care about, is checking that diversity box? Which, by the way, diverse to staff is not. Again, this is why I go for naivety than heartlessness, because their passions are in the right place, but it's just misguided by the blinds of hypocrisy. Saying your group is diverse when all your writing staff is white women, and 50% of your production staff is white women, makes you sound like you're nuts. Plus, I don't want to be that person, but yeah, seriously, where my people at? But going back to the issue at hand, I like seeing more of this Netflix-like originals being produced, because it's one way I see anime's influence being nourished, even if it's not really for us anime fans exclusively. But damn it, Crunchyroll, let the anime talk for itself. We don't talk for hours on the internet about Cells at Work's impeccable educational value just because you told us to. No, we talk about it for hours because it's a good-ass show that knows not to force its agenda. Excuse me, let me try that again. I mean, not to force its
agenda
down our throats. Don't treat us like children who think the world is flat. Treat us like the anime fans we want to be treated as, and let us have our opinion. Y'all need to earn that bacon, not tell us how to sizzle it. Also, can we just talk about the fact that Crunchyroll not a moment later dropped the info that Nick Splat was coming to Verb, almost as if they wanted to push this PR disaster under the rug? Makes you think, doesn't it? Well, time to facepalm that thinking, because I feel like the reactions some fans have made on this topic almost makes the actual situation look like buttercups in comparison. Part numero 2.
I ain't want no HJW/feminism propaganda in my anime, and that art style is anime at all,
says half the fandom. Disclaimer, this is clearly not everybody in the fandom, so calm your titties. But I just want to ask why? Why make such an extreme gesture to an issue that seriously could have been handled a lot better on our part? Do some of you really think that to solve these problems, like feminism, that we shouldn't talk about these topics at all? Because newsflash, that just makes us look like a bunch of childish pussies. Now, did this preview handle the messaging they wanted to bring well? No, certainly not. And for good reason, they should be called out for it. But when I see other people spout arguments like we just should not have controversial topics in our anime, makes me feel like we as a community are weak sauce to serious topics. I, as an anime fan first, want to be challenged just as much as I want to be entertained by my way of thinking when I watch my favorite medium, whether that be about death, religious institutions, sexuality, or in the case in the manga, Mujirushi literally starts off its first chapter with a Japanese reaction to the 2016 American elections. So do not give me the crap about that we shouldn't have talks about feminism and their scary SJW voodoo magic in our anime. And no, do not lump us as our anime. That's your anime, you entitled prick. Objectively, this medium can handle it. It can handle a lot of controversial topics. Whether we can handle it seems to be more of a done and done issue, and that's unfortunate. Because it doesn't matter which camp you stand on, being a dick is still being a dick. If you do consider yourself a feminist or someone with more SJW ideals, then right now you have a target on your back, and anything you say or do can look like you're the beast from the east. And if you are so anti-SJW, then right now you would look like a crybaby who needs to calm down. While I will acknowledge that the PR move was in the wrong, and that things like SJW conversations, like all conversations on the internet, can get extreme and volatile, then whoop de freaking do. Welcome to the internet where everything is polarizing. It's up to us to make our own decisions carefully and be willing to both call out this bullshit, while at the same time not cutting our own chances to have conversation about unsavory topics beyond the bad apple examples. Essentially, I see this playing out like how the anime Gatchaman crowds dictated, in where a group from the top would try to force or push our opinion to one side, and the common masses react with a swift "burn it with fire!" which only causes more destruction and stupid bandwagoning than there needs to be. What we should do, as like the morals of this anime theme, is to talk to each other about what went wrong, yet never say never about what was trying to be said, and end up pushing a segment of people out of the conversation just so we don't have to hear the arguing. And to those of you who are saying, I watch anime to enjoy it, not to get into a political debate, is realistically fine, I guess, and that is your prerogative. I do get that mentality. Anime is escapism. Most of us use anime as a way to take a break from our real life problems, but just because we escape it for the moment doesn't mean it's still not there, and like most forms of entertainment, is as biased as a 10-year-old picking their Pokemon for the very first time. Let's be real, half of y'all chose Charizard because he looked cool. I mean, you wouldn't have demographics or marketing plans if there wasn't a consideration of who you're selling it to. Heck, I'm being biased right now by making this video, so I can't escape it either. If High Guardian Spice wants to tell a story about female empowerment, feminism, and whatever, then when we see it, eventually, you can make your own case then. And if you still don't want your precious anime tarnished with controversial ideas like feminism or HJW bullcrap, you know what? Fine. Go ahead, be my guest. Though to me, let it be known that it's still sad that some people rather plug their ears to a group of people or agenda, letting the issue procrastinate on the bedroom floor of controversy. And if it's anything like my room, then those problems will only keep collecting dust until you can't take it anymore. Part 3. So what? So Shannen, what's your point? Are you just here to bash on everyone because you want to sound like a saint beyond all saints? No, imaginary viewer opinion that may or may not be there. Objectively, the ball's in Crunchyroll's court. They are the ones who want to push this type of show. They are the ones who want to keep us subscribed, and they are the ones who want we internet personalities to help push their free advertising along. Regardless of the reactions we are seeing over the internet, this was because they did a poor job trying to sell their product, and they did a poor job in giving us a reason why we shouldn't tear them apart like a ravaged angry mob, with its naive, almost complacent tone of morality and lack of actual context or content. Just give your own work the opportunity to prove itself at face value first, and trust in our face value judgment because we fans will praise or criticize something objectively when it's important. However, when people do get off their bandwagoning and see for a moment what some of us as a fandom are suggesting, then you realize real quick why we are called one of, if not the most hated fandom on YouTube, if not the internet. Some corners raise the flag on how childish we can get, how afraid we are of just the simple thought of letting these SJWs make their case outside of this bad PR on Crunchyroll's part. Because not all of those feminists are bad people, or like in most controversial topics, the core values rarely are the real issue to why people get upset. It's the examples we glamorize that keep us at bay. So bottom line, should we say that feminism is banned in our anime? Hell no. What we should be saying is that any platform of our anime is naturally earned, not forced to be put on our agenda. There, I said my piece and I'm happy to be making my 2 cents. So now I'm going to ride off into the sunset and see what I can do about turning this orange into a smoothie. So you all know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell, blah blah, I'm gone. Shannen out!